A seeker once approached Gautama Buddha and said, "You say liberation is freedom from compulsive thinking. You say enlightenment is not gaining new thoughts, but ending bondage to old ones. Please explain this deeply, for my mind is full, yet my heart is restless." The Buddha did not answer immediately. He looked at the seeker the way a still lake looks at the moon, without effort, without judgment. Then he spoke, not to fill the seeker's mind, but to empty it. What follows is not merely an explanation, it is a dismantling. The Buddha began, "You think you are trapped by the world, but you are trapped by your thinking about the world. Compulsive thinking is not ordinary thought. Thought itself is a tool. The problem arises when thought uses you. Compulsive thinking is thought that repeats without your consent, thought that speaks even when silence is needed, thought that defines you without being questioned. You wake up thinking, you walk thinking, you suffer thinking. Even joy is quickly swallowed by thinking." The seeker asked, "Is thinking not intelligence?" The Buddha replied, "Thinking is intelligence when it serves awareness. Thinking is bondage when awareness serves thinking. Most humans do not think, they are thought by memory. Your mind is not fresh, it is recycled. Old fears speak with new words. Old desires wear new masks. Old wounds pretend to be opinions. This is the prison, a mind that never stops rehearsing the past or rehearsing the future. Liberation begins the moment you see this clearly." The Buddha continued, "Thought becomes compulsive because it is rooted in fear. Fear of not being enough, losing control, death, impermanence. So the mind keeps talking, planning, judging, comparing, believing noise will protect it. But thought cannot solve fear because fear itself is a thought." The seeker interrupted, "Then why does the mind cling to thoughts?" The Buddha answered, "Because it has mistaken thoughts for identity. From childhood you were told, this is your name, this is your belief, this is your religion, this is your success, this is your failure. Slowly, unconsciously, thought said, this is me. Now every thought feels personal, every challenge feels threatening, every disagreement feels like an attack. Thus the mind defends itself endlessly. Compulsive thinking is self-protection for a self that does not truly exist."
The seeker bowed and said, "Then tell me, how do I gain enlightenment?" The Buddha smiled gently. "Who will gain it?" This is the great misunderstanding. People imagine enlightenment as a new belief, a higher knowledge, a special experience, a spiritual achievement. But enlightenment is not an addition. It is a subtraction. You do not become enlightened. You stop being confused. The Buddha said, enlightenment is not gaining new thoughts. It is freedom from obedience to old ones. The mind wants more teachings, more techniques, more scriptures. But the truth is not hidden by lack of knowledge. It is hidden by excess. Just as clouds do not create the sky but obscure it, thoughts do not create reality but veil it.
The Buddha asked the seeker, "Are your thoughts alive, or are they memories?" The seeker reflected and realized most thoughts were borrowed from parents, from society, from culture, from fear. These thoughts were never questioned. They became assumptions. They became habits. They became chains. Old thoughts are dangerous not because they are wrong, but because they are unexamined.
You react today not to what is happening now, but to what happened before. A harsh word today awakens an old wound. A small loss today triggers ancient fear. A simple silence today feels like rejection. This is bondage, not to people, not to situations, but to memory disguised as identity.
The Buddha then spoke of awareness. Awareness is not against thought. Awareness is that which sees thought. The moment you observe a thought, it weakens. Why? Because thought cannot survive without unconscious belief. When you watch the mind, thoughts slow down, space appears, choice returns. Liberation does not come by fighting the mind. It comes by seeing it clearly. The Buddha used a metaphor. A thief cannot steal in a well-lit house. Awareness is that light. This question shook the seeker. If I am not my thoughts, then who am I? The Buddha replied, do not answer with words. Look. When thought stops, even for a second, something remains. That something is still, alert, alive, peaceful. It has no name, no story, no history, yet it is undeniably you. This is not blankness, this is presence. This presence was there before your first thought, between your thoughts, after your thoughts. Thought comes and goes, presence remains. Enlightenment is recognizing this and never forgetting it again.
The seeker asked, "Must I destroy thought to be free?" The Buddha answered firmly, "No, that would be violence. The goal is not silence forever. The goal is freedom. A liberated mind thinks when needed, stops when not needed, does not cling. Thought becomes a servant, not a master. Just as you use a knife to cut food but do not carry it everywhere, thought is used wisely. This is the middle way." The Buddha spoke a truth that cut deep. Pain is natural, suffering is optional. Pain happens in the body, suffering happens in thought. When you stop identifying with the narrative around pain, suffering dissolves. Old thoughts say, "Why me? This should not happen. I will never recover." Awareness says, "This is what is." Acceptance is not weakness, it is clarity.
The seeker asked, what about death? The Buddha replied, death belongs to the body. Fear of death belongs to thought. Awareness is untouched. When you know yourself as awareness, death loses its terror. Forms change, presence does not. This is not belief, it is direct seeing. The Buddha concluded, do not seek liberation in time, do not seek it in words, do not seek it in me. Liberation is now, because only now exists. The moment you stop compulsive thinking, even briefly, you taste freedom. Enlightenment is not fireworks, it is simplicity. Not ecstasy, but ease. Not becoming special, but becoming real. You are not imprisoned by life, you are imprisoned by unconscious thought. See clearly, and the door was never locked. The seeker did not ask another question. He sat, and for the first time his mind listened to his silence.